Checkers 2. Now there should be sound.
Do we have sound now, ladies and gentlemen? Do we have sound now? Let's see in the comment section if anybody's giving us a thumbs up. Anybody tell us in the chat if we have
gotta
sound?
have sound.
Huh?
We gotta have sound.
We must have sound.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna start this all over again.
Start it over.
First 10 minutes were a wash. Sorry.
I'll fix
this is why everyone should take a mime class. Now it's replaying. Okay, so I'm gonna show a pedal steel lick. Sorry about the sound issue, guys. And the whole time I was talking about how grateful I was. We were back
I think it's good because you get a second shot.
Yeah, was that my first attempt was a little shaky.
I think you needed that second chance.
Now that you can hear me, welcome to the Eugene and Dylan Guitar Show.
Yes.
I'm not going to recap everything, but I'm going to start with the pedal steel lick I want to talk about. So there's a lot that we know. Usually we hear a lot, and this would be like things like that. Things like this, which are great, and they're good to know. But here's one that involves going down to the major seventh from our root note. What? Oh, we have thumbs up. Cool. Sorry, everybody. 47 minutes of silence. Well, you know what? Listen. Sometimes you guys.
Yes, that was a statement.
Sometimes
actually,
you hear enough from me.
Yeah.
You know, we always say less is more.
Yeah.
It's about the notes you don't play.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And we just want to give you an idea of overkill. Sorry, guys.
Overkill.
Any hoozles. So this lick, it sounds like this. I'm going to play this over a D major chord, E shape, D major at the 10th fret. Sorry, that was pitchy, but that sort of thing. How do we achieve this? Well, first we start with a pre-bend. Now, again, this is out of an E shape at the 10th fret, so it's E shape, D major chord at the 10th fret. We start with a pre-bend on the 9th fret, half a step, so that we're already bent up to hear D natural, our root note. And then we're going to strike and then let it go down. We like to get that nice and clean. A nice clean sound on our electric guitar also really helps with this. So we have that. And after that, our index finger is going to cover both the B string and the high E string. We're at this camera now, sorry. So it's there, right? So, and then there. Now, with our middle finger on the G string at the 11th fret, that's going to do a half bend up. See, look, Dylan can do it on his new fancy guitar.
Where's the first bend? I'm sorry. Okay.
Now, so do it really, yeah, there you go.
So. And that's, if you don't get the bend up like a pedal steel, like you would slide on a pedal steel, then it won't really sound like a pedal steel. So, sorry.
Any combination of that. So the idea is that we have these half-step bends. One's on the high E string, the other one's on the G at the 11th fret, bending up to 12, and then back. But then we actually play the fretted notes, the B string and high E string at the 10th fret, to kind of give it that. Again, depending on your gauge of strings and hand strength, finding those pitches is really what the practice part is.
This is where having an actual telly comes in handy, because you got the blocked bridge.
Yes, that. By the way, that's right. I did this on a guitar with a floating bridge, which does not help matters, but it's okay. So yeah, a block bridge is a very, very good thing. Hi, Dylan.
Hey, did you guys see? Let's see if hopefully we got. So I don't know if you guys noticed. Hopefully we got sound and video and everything, but we have a vibey like 8th millimeter sort of thing going on here with the view of this guitar now.
You mean that view?
Terrifying, right?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. This kind of reminds me of like the old Pippi Longstocking show, and it was done I think on 16 millimeter, the original one that was the really weird dub.
Yeah.
But I have separation issues as a kid, so I didn't like that show.
I'm not
her
old
dad
enough.
just left her.
I'm not old enough for that.
He was like a pirate. He was like a sailor, and he would just leave.
It's older. It's before my time.
Okay. Back to camera one.
More into Andy Griffith.
So now, where were you last week? How dare you leave me?
How was I last week?
You like on Pippi Longstocking, you left me.
Where was I?
You were doing a mastering.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now Dylan was you were teaching a clinic.
I was doing a teaching seminar on audio mastering because that's one of my main gigs.
It's one of the things you do for a living.
Yeah.
What is mastering?
Indubitably. I'm glad you asked.
And by the way, remember, you're talking to a 5-year-old.
Okay. Yeah. Intellectually and emotionally and spiritually, yes. Audio mastering is it's the process of taking an all but finished album, EP, song, whatever.
A recording.
Yeah, and then kind of trying to make it sound like it's cooked in the same pot while bringing it up to competitive volume levels. And
the competitive volume levels, that's the important. Any other analogy just kind of makes it some other soup.
Yeah.
I think the idea here is you've made a song,
yeah,
or a recording of some sort, and you want to put it out to the world.
Sure.
And let's say if it goes on Spotify, you want it to be, I'm going to use the term as loud as.
Commiserate. Or as loud as. Let's go with as loud as.
The track that comes before it and after it.
Yeah.
So
you certainly don't want it to be quieter.
Right.
Quieter is worse to the general public.
Right. So now many of us think, well, why don't you, isn't there just like a volume knob before you put it out to the world that you just turn up? Not really. Well, that is the mastering process.
So mastering engineers would love it if the world would just turn things up instead of want them so loud. I'm promising you. But the other thing we do is, so we do a lot of stems mastering. So recently I had a project that Sia sang on, which I never was involved directly with Sia on it, but the bed of music was the Sia vocal was overlaid against the bed of, the music was separated out, but it's the bed. And so I had to figure out how to match that into there. And a lot of there used to be like 3 hats for every recording. You'd have the hat of the person who's engineering, the hat of the person, we're not counting the producer, by the way, the hat of the person that is mixing and then the hat of the person that's mastering. And mastering is especially important when it comes to vinyl, tape, any analog formats, because there's really specific requirements for those.
Technical requirements.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's not very forgiving.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So you now in this world now mostly we do it digitally, correct?
Yeah. But it's become, I don't know. Have you guys noticed the kids? The kids are into they're really into like, lo-fi now. I mean, we are in a sense talking about the Beatles, because the Beatles stuff, if you guys ever go online and look up stems for Sgt. Pepper's.
Where's the volume on this thing?
Oh, did you want volume? There it is.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I need
if you want stems for Sgt. Pepper's, you're going to hear that the drums, all of them, were recorded with the entire orchestra and the reverb box sent. It's incredible. It's incredible. But so kind of going into that a little bit more, if one of the things that you do in mastering is you look for frequencies that are going to be an issue when they're turned up really loud. So if we have like these types of licks we were talking about, which is pedal steel licks. So a lick on the guitar only spans maybe from the lowest note, which is about 600 kilohertz, to the highest note, which is about a little under 5,000 kilohertz. So the guitar lives in an area in the mix that is right where the human voice lives for the most part. And that's why they can become...
They fight.
A protuberance.
A protuberance.
Protuberance of the human voice.
Okay.
Yeah. But I kind of want to play some pedal steel stuff, like trade some pedal steel things with you.
All right. But by the way, what you were saying about the Beatles, that's why you'll see a lot of classic records or artists from the, years ago, you'll see remastered versions of things. Well, a lot of that has to do with the fact that someone as competitive as Paul McCartney wants us to listen to the Beatles on Spotify, because that's where most people are listening to music. And the Beatles want their records that were made in the 1960s to sound good and compete.
That's one reason.
On Spotify with Beyonce and Taylor and you guys, if you're putting records out, frankly. And they didn't have that same gear back then. They had great mastering gear for vinyl. So that's why, so when you see a lot of these remastered versions of things, a lot of it, the reason has to do with we're listening to music on different devices with different technical specs. You good there, buddy?
I'm good, thanks.
Right.
Sorry about that.
So I'm sorry. So pedal steel licks. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Okay, so pedal steel licks. So I'm gonna play let's flip back and forth on a couple pedal steel ideas. Okay, so I'm going to play. We've been talking about lo-fi jazz.
Oh, have we?
That's one of the areas that pedal steel has not made its way into efficiently yet.
Which is slightly ironic, only because
it is the lowest of fi.
Well, actually, by the way, technically this term lo-fi, I feel like I've done a long jag about this.
I have a lot of problems.
Well, but it's weird because a recording that has tons of gizmos and compression and tricks and stuff on it, with panning and separation and just all these. It's a lot of stuff going on.
It's the opposite of lo-fi.
Well, fi is short for fidelity,
which means God.
No, it means faithfulness,
cleanliness,
like truthfulness.
Yeah,
right. So these lo-fi recordings that are made maybe with just 2 microphones and no mixing process whatsoever are probably much truer to what happened in the room. So they actually kind of truer in terms of fidelity to what the human beings did.
So they're
hi-fi
actually
record is highly processed, is my point. So it's a bit of a misnomer if you ask me. But a lot of pedal steel guitars or lap steel guitars are tuned to open 6 chords and 9th chords, which are essentially jazz chord. Play like a 9/6, for instance. So you have these voicings. Now the pedal steel, if we were to play one and just play an open chord, it would have these beautiful extra notes.
Yeah, it's just
in there.
it's natural tuning.
It's natural tuning, is that because the pedals then pull the string sharp like a step and
pull it into being a triad,
into being a normal chord, if you will. And so it's ooh, that's
how about
okay, so we got this bass A to G. That's the lick I just showed you guys.
So something like would be a solid pedal steel lick over that.
Very, very much.
And then
you just moved it down a full step because the chord did.
Same thing with this. Same lick, really. And the upside to doing pedal steel licks on the first and second string is it's easier to kind of do some of that particular sound. Versus on this string, you have to.
Yeah.
It's not. So this one lends itself to the stutter tone.
You know,
sound.
one that it's not a country song, but "Just What I Needed" by the Cars. Elliot Easton has this killer.
That solo's so good.
Great. No, that's "Hit Me With Your Best Shot."
Damn it.
So same key. Nice job.
Help me.
So he's got this great. Yeah, that's it. He uses this great pedal steel lick, but it's really inconvenient to play. And I've seen him do it. It's like, no, he plays it the hard way.
It's super inconvenient.
That's it. No, there's no scene.
Oh yeah.
So here.
So it goes.
I'm sorry. Don't care.
You got face detection in there? Good.
I was going to go to the camera, but it's gone into a different mode. You want to see that, guys? Look at this. There you go.
So that's lo-fi. That's what lo-fi camera work looks like to you. See, you happy now?
All right.
Tell the kids. Bring the kids over.
This is lo-fi streaming.
Yeah.
Any whoozles.
No, I'm going to play it for you.
Okay, go ahead.
So it goes.
Are we doing? I don't know if we have time for the whole.
You're on the wrong camera.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's on the right one.
I don't mind you coming here and wasting all my time. When you stand so near.
You're right.
Gotta lose my mind, yeah. Not the ribbons in your hair. I don't mind you coming here and wasting
Very good.
all my time.
So
Oh, you're playing the little keyboard part? I love that.
It's really good.
Sweet.
And he does that there. That is a
he
guitar.
takes over.
But the way they play parts on that song, I'm like,
I think it's
man,
very, very well thought out.
it's really good.
But this-
but you do the solo, and I'll stop. So it's okay. 2, 3, 4.
Wait, I forgot the solo. Wait, I forgot it. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
No,
What
I played
happened?
it. I played it wrong.
I got carried away.
No, you were good. I played
okay.
it wrong. Sorry.
Let's go.
Go ahead. Well, he starts here.
Oh, really?
Then, oh,
Ooh.
that's the hard part. And then the.
I'm convinced he just wanted to make a solo as difficult to cover as possible
We should have thought about this before.
for bar bands across the world.
10 minutes of no sound, and now you got me playing this thing incorrectly. Any hoozles.
We got to apologize ahead of time for
We'll
that.
talk-
Hey,
but we gotta
Sean,
move-
good to see you.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, I was doing. Say the neon lights are bright on.
Okay, so now you were doing the George Benson version
I
or the
was.
Drifters original version?
I only do the George Benson version.
Right. You had a private lesson with George Benson, and he referred to himself in third person.
He did.
I love that. I love it when people do that. I really do. When I was a kid, I didn't respect
Benson,
it.
don't
Now
play
I
that.
He said, Benson, don't play that. I said, wait, George Guillaume on the sitcom?
He was a.
He meant-
It
no,
was.
this
It was.
Benson.
It. I felt the
Robert
aura
Guillaume.
of
Robert
Benson.
Guillaume played the. Oh, sorry.
The man exudes skill.
Oh, he's.
You should see him cut an apple.
Oh, really?
No, I'm talking. Listen, the finesse, the apple. By the time it gets done, it's saying thank you. Thank you for just letting me be involved with.
I've known you for years. I didn't know you saw him carve.
I saw him carve fruit. I saw the man carve fruit.
You know, I don't know
Yeah.
how we're gonna do a workshop after this.
gonna
My
be really
mind
difficult.
is blown.
Yeah.
Well,
But I have more. I have more Benson stories for the till lesson that's coming up right now.
There you go.
You keep talking. I'm going to put that in the chat.
Okay. So we're gonna move over to the till. For those of you who have signed up for the workshop, again, I want to remind you, there's still seats left in the workshop. We still have several weeks to go. Everything's recorded, so you can always go back and watch the previous sessions. They just obviously will not be interactive, but you can catch up, and that's a great thing is that it's done on Zoom and you have privacy. The others can't hear. There's a whole thing, but we can see if your hand position is correct, or we can make sure that you're following us just fine. That way, don't leave anyone in the dust, especially when we're playing these really cool. Cars guitar solos. I shot my mouth. Cars guitar solos. I really shot my mouth off with that.
Thank you.
That's closer. Well, yes, because he uses the major thirds. He's playing across the changes beautifully. It's a very, very. I think they know when they hear it. I don't think anybody changes the radio station. That's my point. Are we still live?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, all right. Are we just gonna go from here right to till?
We are,
But I'm padding. Okay, so we're putting the link in the chat if anybody wants to join us. You don't have to join us tonight. It's cool if you did, but you can join us next week. It's fine. It's fine. We're there. And there's tons of, if you sign up, you have access to tons of PDFs and cool little tchotchkes. Actually, you know what I did? I went to the Woody Guthrie Museum in Tulsa last week. And next door is the Bob Dylan Archives. Bob Dylan donated just all of his stuff to the Woody Guthrie Center in Tulsa. Wow. And there's tons of Dylan stuff. Plus, there's a little piece of scrap paper. Just a little piece of paper. He writes out the chord changes to Tangled Up in Blue for the band to play. I mean, the band didn't hear it until like he walked into the room that day. And it's a little scrap of paper. It's in G. And then it's decided, no, this is kind of lame. So they move it up a whole step to A at the suggestion of one of the session musicians. Right. And so they tried it in A, and it did feel better in A. And Dylan begrudgingly admitted, okay, you're right, Mr. Stranger person.
Dylan doesn't want to do something. You argue with him?
I think it was a friendly suggestion, okay? But and so then So the original changes are written in the key of G in ink, and then to the right of those in pencil, everything's redone in A.
Wow.
But he didn't use the number national. Anyway, if you're in the Till workshop, you'll see a picture of this little scrap paper, which I think ties into our chord scale theory lesson that I gave last week. Let's see you guys over in Till. All right, we'll see you there, guys. Trying to squeeze that in there from a couple weeks ago. I love it. Yeah, it's fun.